This video I want to show you how I play Hart's tune These Dreams, which is a favorite of mine by Hart. I always enjoy hearing him play it live, and I also kind of like it because Nancy sings lead. Her and her sister Ann, of course, are just two of the greatest female rock voices I think that we've ever had. And also Bernie Taupin co-wrote the tune, the lyric, and the music, and then pitched to Stevie Nicks, who I don't think was too interested. Hart picked it up and made a huge hit out of it. And there wasn't much on the internet about it that I could find, so I wanted to work it up for maybe playing it live myself, and I wanted to pass it along, so maybe if you're interested in it. A player's note is that it is capoed on the 2nd fret to match the studio track, which is nice, and that's where we'll use it for the video here today. But it's also nice to know that if the singer that you're working with, or maybe you're the one singing it, if it was a little high for you, you could take the capo off easily or down a fret to lower the key. So you could lower the whole step really easily by taking your capo off, and then I guess you could tune down from there if you want to tune down another half. But it is nice to have a pretty easy way to alter the key on this song. So let me play through the intro, and then we'll break that down. We'll work our way through the verse. The chorus, there's a short bridge, and that'll have it. So here we go. That's the intro times 2. So the first chord we're playing is an F sharp minor. It's really probably a little more complicated name than that, but for our purposes F sharp minor will work. 2nd fret low E with my middle finger. I'm muting the A string with that same finger, so I don't want that note. D string 2nd fret, G string 2nd fret with my ring finger and my pinky. Open B and E string, which is going to be true predominantly through the song, that those two strings, the B and the E string, are going to just ring out and stay open. That's sort of the magic of the acoustic guitar track in this song. So we're going to jump from that to a B chord, just 2nd fret A with my first finger, 4th fret of the D and G string with my ring and my pinky. Again, those open B and E strings. And I'm intentionally muting the low E string. I don't want it. So I take my first finger and just let the tip of it lay on that E string and mute it. So now I can take a really big strum at it and I don't hear that string. So that's just a little player's note. And I don't want that on most all these sort of A string root chords. We're going to go from a B up 2 frets to a C sharp minor. That's the 4th fret of A, the 6th fret of D and G, open B and E, and then up 1 more fret, which is a D chord of sorts. 5th fret, A, 7th fret, D and G, open B and E. So that's times 2. So here's the intro one more time. Hangs on the D. Then we come back to the F sharp for the verse. The verse is going to use those same chords and a few others, so let's work through that. The verse starts this way. So it's just our F sharp minor, our B, and our C sharp minor. And we do that twice. Second time through. This time we're going up to the D chord, which we learned on the intro, then back to the F sharp. And there's kind of a walk down from the D to an A over C sharp. To get that grip, I bar from my A string all the way up to my high E string. I throw my ring finger on the 4th fret of the A string, which puts the 3rd of the chord on the bottom. So that's why we call it an A//C sharp. I don't play either E string, the low or the high. So I'm getting the middle 4 strings, intentionally muting that string again with this finger and just not strumming the high E. So that gives me this nice walk down from a D to an A over C sharp to a B, which we've played. And then there's kind of a synthy part, but the guitar goes to D, E, A, back to F sharp. So that's 5th fret, up 2 frets to an E, that's 7th fret of A, 9th of the D and the G string, open B and E, and then a quick kind of A, which is just what you might think an A2 chord, 2nd fret D and E and G. I just get those 3 strings, and then back to our F sharp. Okay, so let me play through all that. This is the verse of these dreams. Here we go. First verse. Repeat. Now we're going on up to the D. Back to F sharp. Here's our walk down. The timing was a little suspect there. It's more like. And moving forward from there. Gonna repeat that again. Moving up to the D again. Back to F sharp. Here's our walk down. Going to the chorus for this F sharp. So that was the whole verse. So you can, go back and review that if you need to, or I think once you play it with the track, you'll work your way through that really easily. So that second walk down, where we go from our A over C sharp to B, we're gonna go back to an F sharp, then a big F sharp. We're into the chorus. So here's the chorus as I play it. To the verse. So that's an E, these dreams, D. I kind of like a D2 on the whole song. Just an open high E string, taking out my middle finger, to an A2, an open B string, back to that open E and B kind of ringing through the whole song. D2, A2, then a quick D, A, back to E, this time with a G sharp bass. Or an E, I apologize. You could play the regular E through this, but this is a place where the 3rd or the 5th of the chord is on the bottom, and it kind of adds some interest to it. So if you wanted to try to duplicate the recording a little closer, you would play these grips, in my opinion. This is an E with a G sharp bass. I grab it like this: 2nd fret D string, 4th fret low E, and I get it with my middle finger, and I mute the A string again with that finger. I come up here to the 4th fret of G, and I get it with my ring finger, and leave the B and E string open. You could get it this way, just using your pinky and your ring finger. For some reason, I tend to go that way with it. So the first time through, we're playing the standard E, D2, A2. Then we're coming to a D with an F sharp bass. I'm using my thumb here. Okay, to an E with an E on the bottom. So my bass line changes. And then another quick D and 2 and an A2. Then back to the regular E, D2, A2. Again, 3rd on the bottom. And then a D2, which kind of hangs. Then we're back to another verse. I'll play through another verse for you. This verse is a little different. It's shorter, up to the D, F sharp. I walk down. Second chorus. chord kind of almost mimics the vocal phrasing. What I'm doing there is barring again from A all the way up to the high E on the 2nd fret. I'm going to get that low E string, and I'm using my ring finger. You could use your middle finger to get the 3rd fret of the B string. It's kind of like a D with an E bass, and there's also a B note in there, so kind of a unique chord. I'm not getting the high E string. That takes us to the bridge, which is like an A suspended. I need to hide away. I like to bar again across those strings, D through high E, and then I lay my 2nd finger in on the 3rd fret of the B string, 4th fret of the D string with my ring finger, middle 4 strings. You could just use this finger, but I kind of prefer this. Then it goes to an E, to a D2, back to the A, and then this, then a D, back into the last verse. So let me play through that bridge. Let's get into the bridge from here. Verse, no different than what we've already done. Up to the D. Walking down. Last chorus, here we go. That was a quick A over C sharp, keeping going. Coming to the end here. Kind of hang on that D2 as long as you wanted to. Then they kind of ended with a. I think the studio track may just hang on the D. I'm not really sure about that. But watching them live, they'll kind of go back to that D, quick E, A, and then ending on the F sharp. So that's just an ending you could use playing it live. Obviously you need to do something. You could just hang it on the D, which I think would work. Or you could, that. Great tune. I hope this helped, and hope maybe you stole a few chord ideas along the way. Thanks for checking it out.